Who wants to hear a shitty story? No one, but we're gonna tell it anyway because we read the whole thing, yeah. Welcome to the book club from hell. I'm glad we get to watch Sangwoo decline in real time. It's a cool, sexy thing about him. We're starting season 2, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's the beginning of season
Killing
2.
Stalking.
Chapter 20.
I think it's really funny that this is 3 seasons and the first one is 19 chapters long because there's still like all the other seasons are like 32 chapters. Both the other seasons.
So Boom just killed that girl, and kind of what I thought might happen ends up kind of happening throughout the next couple chapters where like they're both trying to figure out who killed her.
Yeah, they're like kind of figuring out where the blame should be placed for this.
And I'm not quite sure either. I want to blame Sangwoo, but like Boom's also just did it. Like, you know, like
that's what I was gonna say. So my sister read this over the weekend.
Oh yeah, we can have her like narration in spirit as well.
In spirit, yeah. I asked her what she thought about this, and she told me, fuck Boom. she told me Sangwoo ain't even threatened his ass, he just did it. He just went for it.
See, I'm inclined to do the same thing, but in the back of my mind, there's like that little nagging like, but he has been in an ongoing abusive situation from Sangwoo. So you're like
an intrinsic threat when Sangwoo tells him to do anything.
Yeah, so you're like, oh, but like because he does try sometimes to like not do what Sangwoo says, and there's not a whole lot of consequence some of those times, you know?
Yeah, it's really back and forth. He didn't even try though.
Yeah, he didn't try to like not. So like I'm like, this is kind of mostly him, but like
I think this is on both of them.
Co-murder.
Yeah, this was a co-murder. Sangwoo put him in the position and he willingly did it. Yeah. So they both share some responsibility for this. I love that this season starts out on not good.
It's pretty
First
accurate.
line of the season.
Not good.
Kind of sets the tone for the entire thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, not good.
Boom's having some trouble because he thinks the dead girl is going to call the police for some reason.
Yeah, he had kind of a mental snap here.
Yeah. And Sangwoo ends up doing exactly what I thought was going to happen. I think I mentioned it as a joke.
You predicted this.
But I was like, there's no way Sangwoo's not going to get mad at Boom saying he didn't feel a thing after he killed the girl. Like, his whole thing is like getting off on murder.
Yeah. No.
Like,
he wants Boom to understand how he's feeling.
Yeah.
Not to not feel anything. He's like, what the fuck?
There's this weird moment that I don't think I quite understand, where it was like right before he decides, oh, I'm gonna get rid of Boom. Like Boom's like drooling or something, and it like really emphasizes it. And I don't know why.
I really think it's just supposed to communicate like no thoughts, head empty. like he's just going completely blank.
It's so rightfully Sangwoo's just like, I gotta get rid of this bitch. I was
he's like,
yeah,
this
he's
is
kind of gross.
I hate him. It's so much more insulting too that he's not even like, I'm gonna kill him. Like he's like, just get out of here.
He's like, put your gross clothes on. Take your dildo. I don't think he says take your dildo, but like the dildo's in the pile of clothes.
Oh, he throws the dildo at him.
There's this creepy panel where Boom stares at the reader for a minute. He like stares into your soul. I was like, ooh, scroll past that one.
There's a really weird interaction here where Sangwoo's like, this didn't do anything for you, you're fucking boring, you vanilla fuck, and he's dragging him out the door, and he says like, I mean nothing to you, as if like his feelings about murder are like paramount to his feelings about Sangwoo, like they're the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is really weird.
In order for me to mean anything to you, you have to get off on murder as well because you have to share my feelings, which is super weird.
It's such a backwards understanding of what like human connection is.
Yeah. Sangwoo doesn't understand that there's supposed to be more of a connection in the differences between people. He's like, no, you have to be me.
Yeah. No, he doesn't understand, I think, a lot of things about other people.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna put my psychologist brain on for a second. My little,
all right, do it.
Tiny little spinny hat with the spinny thing on top, because like this is a toddler psychologist opinion.
Okay.
He might be affected by seeing his parents be so different, seeing that they didn't love each other and they were so opposite from each other that he's like, you have to be like me in order for me to love you. and you love me. Like, we have to be the same person.
Yeah, we have to be the same human being, or it's just not gonna work. It's gonna fall apart.
Because there's his parents. That is what school of psychology is that? The, like, psycho something?
I think Sangwoo in general has a very Freudian thing going on.
He does. I think I have a note in here that's like, Freudian is gonna Freud or something. Like,
oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty bad.
The desperation with which this man wants to fuck his mom.
Mm-hmm.
So badly.
So let's see. Yeah, he's trying to shove him outside, and Boom like has a breakdown because he doesn't want to go outside because he hates the outside.
Yeah, Elise and I determined that this is the point at which he no longer qualifies as kidnapped. Like,
yeah,
he willingly went back inside.
But
he tried
also,
to let you go. You went back in.
It confused me at first, but then I remembered he had that whole like people staring at him thing, and that becomes a big deal later as well. But at this point, when I was like initially reading it, I was like, why does he hate the outside now? Like, where did that come from? They just went out like to dinner with those people. Did that really scar him that much that like he's like, I hate the outside?
Those people were rude. I hate it out there. That guy wouldn't let me go pee.
But yeah, he goes back inside and he like hides under a blanket, and there's this nice shot of his ass multiple times.
There's so many ass shots in this chapter. It's all ass all the time.
He's like crouched down. All of him is underneath the blanket. He's in like the,
he's like ostriching.
Yeah, ostrich. He calls him an ostrich at one point, but it's like the fetal position, but like you're on your knees, but in the fetal position, and the only thing sticking out from underneath the blanket is his ass and feet, which gross.
Yeah. I think what it's supposed to be is like he's freaked out that he killed, like he just had this traumatic experience and now he doesn't want to be by himself.
I think so, but
I think finding literally anyone else to be with you at the moment would actually probably be better. Literally anyone else.
No, I think you should stay with Sangwoo, the only other murderer he knows.
That's also true. That is a significant point, actually. Men have done the same fucking thing.
That's the only argument that I can make to stay with Sangwoo, is that Sangwoo has also murdered a person.
It's true.
Sangwoo decides he's gonna fuck Boom.
Hey, here's another interesting observation. Wait, I'm putting my psychologist hat on now.
Do it.
Sangwoo is angry because he wants Boom to understand his thing.
His penis?
No, his head, his brain, his other head. He's like, you don't get it because you don't feel anything. And then Boom is like, I'm scared. And he's like, never mind, stay. Like, was that what he was supposed to get out of it? Was that the intention?
Well, he is feeling something now.
Yeah, but like, is that what you wanted him to feel?
Probably not. He probably just wanted him to feel something.
Yeah, just something significant.
Yeah, like he had like a sliding scale of like what I want Boom to feel, and like feeling scared was probably like a 0, and he probably would have been like, okay, get the fuck out. But Boom went below the scale and said, I feel nothing. So now that Boom has arrived back on the scale, he's like, I'll take it.
He's like, that's good enough for me, I guess. So yes, the lightsaber penis returns temporarily. Sangwoo says, like, stop clenching. I was like, bitch, like, at least spit on it, man. You did nothing. You're just like, I can't
shoving it in.
I just can't get in.
It's like neither of you did anything before you were shoving stuff down his butthole.
There's no room. You just can't fit in. Fucking Sangwoo has never heard of lube in his life and will never figure it out. He will never get there. Which blows my fucking mind about this. Like, Boom, why don't you ever say anything? I know you have trouble. I know you have trouble working up the courage to say stuff. Say what you need, okay? But this is one of those things where it's worth the effort to tell him that this is what you're supposed to do. I think it would probably also be better for him.
Boom definitely knows.
Boom for sure knows. Probably he had some lube in his apartment that Sangwoo didn't take.
Sangwoo, like, lists off things and implies that from the beginning, like, the very first murder he did when Boom like was in the house was like the first step to sex.
Yeah, there's like, this is a really crazy conversation.
There's a weird implication going on there.
There's also a weird implication. He befriended this girl in the first place with the intention of eventually making Boom murder her.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, that had to have been like a months-long grift. You saw out like some bitch.
Let me see. He also says, I'm not some rapist and listening to a guy screaming doesn't get me off, okay? And he's like, I quit. I was like, I can excuse murder and psychological torture, but I draw the line at rape.
I draw the line there. Also, explicitly, a guy screaming does get you off. You got off on hanging him earlier.
Yeah.
So you're just a liar, is what you are.
There's also a panel where it shows Boom from like underneath and his hand is over his crotch and it's so close to his crotch. I'm like, how small is his dick?
Oh,
because like,
okay, here's my theory. Here's a fun theory.
Yeah.
So have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that image where the person is using the size of like some objects in the background to calculate the approximate size of Sangwoo's penis?
Yes. Not in the context of Sangwoo's penis, but I've seen people doing that with other shit where they're like, this is this big, so like when he's holding this, it's got to be this big.
Exactly.
Like, you know.
So this person calculated the size of Sangwoo's penis based on that bathroom blowjob scene.
Is it 7.5 inches?
It's like 6.
Oh, I was close.
So it's like maybe a little above average, and Boom is constantly like, it's huge.
Yeah, but Boom has like no penis.
Therefore, I think Boom has like a micro penis or something.
But his dildo is only like a few, like it's only a little bit smaller than Sangwoo's penis.
That's true. Well, he also thinks that's big because he says the same thing about this dildo right now.
Yeah, because surprise, surprise, Sangwoo's not fucking him; he's fucking him with the dildo.
Plot twist.
And that's when I made the note. We were inside his mind because we got shots of like the dick, kind of.
Inside my mind. also, my favorite part of this entire sex scene is when they're fucking and Sangwoo's looking at him and he's talking about his body, you know? And he's like, it's not even funny. What a shitty thing to say about somebody. You can imagine looking at the person you're having sex with and you're like, man, not even funny. God damn it.
Okay. I had the note. I was like, how did Boom not feel the absence of hips against his ass? Because like when it reveals that he's like fucking him with the dildo, he's like holding it by the base to do it. But there's a shot where Sangwoo has both his hands on Boom.
Yeah, I think there are points in here where he's holding it like with his hips. Like,
yeah, where he's just like, it's like maybe hooked onto his boxers, like he shoved it in and then hooked it on, and
or like he put it in and then like held it there with his hips, you know?
Yeah. But like,
it's weird. It's a really weird thing to do.
It's super weird.
Also obsessed with this panel where Boom's ass is blushing.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
And it says filthy bastard, implying that Sangwoo can see it.
Sangwoo's like gross.
Let's see, they like change positions and Sangwoo's like, oh, now you're gonna cry because it hurts. It's like, well, you did change positions into a less appealing position.
I do not understand how this man can have so much sex and so little understanding of sex. How can he be this bad at it?
But also Sangwoo practices safe sex, so.
Sangwoo confirmed for a safe sex guy. Fascinating to me that he does not understand lube for anal sex, but he does understand that you still need a condom.
Yeah.
How does that
I guess
happen?
that's just like basic like safe sex. Lube isn't really like mentioned in terms of safe sex. It's just like comfortable sex, which it is safer because you're not going to tear an asshole, but
it might, maybe the condom is lubricated.
A lot of condoms now are.
Okay, because I fucked a lot of people in Korea, but also because one time when I was out with one of my friends, she said she had never seen a condom, which was insane to me, so I pulled one out of my purse and gave it to her. We were sitting
like
at Burger King, and she opened it.
Oh no!
and pulled it out, and there was lube everywhere. It got all over. It was on the table.
It's so messy.
It was on like her drinking glass.
Oh yeah, because at the fucking like fast food places there, if you eat in, they give you like real shit.
They give you like actual stuff. Like it was on everything. I was like, oh no! And so we went to the bathroom because she was like, I want to fill it up like a balloon. I was like,
yes,
I'm not gonna stop you. So we went to the bathroom and we were filling this condom up at the sink, and it was getting lube on the sink. And it was so awkward. And we were filling it like a water balloon, and a worker walked And she was like, you look tired. Like, I kicked out of Burger King for leaving lube on everything.
Did you at least finish your meal?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Transitioning
into chapter 21, the police make their return because Ji-yoon's friends are looking for her.
Yes. So, bum, 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 they're in trouble. Somebody's investigating.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. The police now are looking for, like, actively for both Ji-yoon and the other girl that Sangwoo killed.
Right, but it's two different polices.
Because they haven't grasped yet that it's a serial killer.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, all these murders are happening in the same area, but who knows? Like, they haven't put together that these are related crimes at all. So there's no one looking for a serial killer still.
Because Ji-yoon has only been missing for 3 days.
Mm-hmm. They think she may have just run away or something.
Yeah, because apparently she has a history of running away or something, but the mom takes offense to that. So the police are there for like a hot second, and then it cuts back to the lovely odd couple.
Oh, I love them. Now we're getting into some really great shit.
Yeah, he's squirming around on the floor trying to get his pants up because his ass hurts and his legs are still kind of busted.
His legs are kind of busted. His ass hurts. All of his limbs are an inch thick.
Yeah, but Sangwoo decides they're gonna go on a hiking date, and I was like, hiking?
Bitch,
you can't hike. He can't do that.
I had the exact same thought. He says hiking, and I was like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Like, you really permanently crippled both of this man's legs, and then you're making him go hiking.
But, like, not even the legs thing. I was like, just his ass. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that too. No, you've wrecked this man for hiking.
Yeah. They're in lovely little couples outfits again, kind of. Like,
yeah, no,
they're
dressed up in
bit.
complementary colors again. He's dressed Boom up in, like, once again, like, goofy little child's clothes.
Yeah, I was like, he looks like a child, but also I'm pretty sure that's, like, exactly what his mom wore, because in the flashback, like, it's a flashback, not like a hallucination.
Ding, ding, ding.
Like, she's wearing the same jacket.
You're correct. It is once again his mom's clothes.
So they're driving, and Boom's ass hurts.
Boom's ass hurts. He panics whenever the police go by. He's just pretty miserable on this drive, as he is in all other things.
Yeah.
He falls asleep at some point, which is a miracle.
Which is, yeah, relatable, though, because, like, you don't know where you're going. It's like, oh, just fucking fall asleep.
Sangwoo gets, like, annoyed, though, that he went to sleep.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't sleep. I have to drive.
He then gets him some apples.
Yeah.
And he has, like, a Twilight moment where he's, like, holding the apple. He's looking at it. It's an apple. You're like, cool.
They're super red because they're so young, which I don't think is how apples work. Sangwoo, at this point, I think we have seen enough to say just has hallucinations. Like, he just is, a delusional human being. He's got, like, an actual, like needs medication psychological disorder.
Yeah, but I can't tell at this point if those hallucinations stem from actual memories of things that happen or if he's just making shit up.
Yeah.
So
who knows?
It'll be seen. We'll see.
Not clear on what made his mouth just start bleeding. Like, he's just driving and then his mouth starts bleeding.
He must have bit his lip or something. But, like, how did he not notice?
Yeah, it was really strange because, like, all of a sudden Boom's like, you're bleeding. And he panics.
He's like, what?
He's like, do something! Do something! Lick it off my face!
He's like, give me a tissue. Boom's like, there's no tissues. He's like, lick it!
Like, it's so strange. He's so stressed about it. Like, man, what's your damage with bleeding lippy? Like, I promise it's fine. Just wait a minute. Then he hits a deer.
He hits a deer, which I have done as well.
Wow.
Well, the thing is, the deer that I hit, it was probably the same size as this deer, but we were in a larger car, so it didn't do anything to the car.
Yeah.
It didn't fuck up the car.
No, it messes up their car a little bit, so they have to ask this friendly middle-aged couple to tow them to their hotel.
Yeah, and they get towed to the hotel, and there's this weird moment where he, like, has them eat some of the apples as, like, you know, a thank you, and, like, both of them look, like, disgusted by the apples.
It's like the apples are actually gross, and Sangwoo just thinks they're good. Actually, looking back on it, the face Boom makes when he takes a bite of this apple also indicates that they are not good.
Yeah, I thought that was just Boom being Boom, but that
sometimes
looks
he just
like
makes weird, stupid faces. Yeah, but I think he's like, Like, Sangwoo was like, eat these delicious apples that my mom told me were the greatest apples in the world. And Boom takes a bite and he's like,
It's because he's eating not ripe apples, like, and not rotten ones either, where they're too sweet. It's like the sour, yucky shit.
Yeah, it's weird. He's like, they're good, right? And Boom's like,
Yeah. There's a very large bag that the the old man in the couple tries to carry, and Sangwoo's like, absolutely not. I'm like, well, there's a body in that bag.
Oh yeah, and it's like body shaped. It's like comically like a body bag.
It's so
It literally looks like he took a body bag from a morgue and put it in his car.
Yeah.
And he won't let this guy touch it. He's like exceedingly rude to this old man about it too. He's like, you're elderly and you're going to break your back. Sit
like,
down.
I'd be careful, wouldn't you? like Jesus. The wife's like, let's just go. And I'm like, yeah, that's
Sometimes
the smartest
he's
thing.
like stupid mean. Yeah, I know. The wife's like, let's just never mess with these people.
Yeah.
Let's just forget we even saw them.
So they're at like this like hotel thingy. They're at like a lodge.
Yeah.
And then they go on a hike because Song was like, well, might as well do what we came here to do. Because like now we're stuck here for a day.
Boom immediately twists his ankle.
I wrote like don't, but I don't remember. Oh no, I think I remember what it was for. Like my last note on the chapter is like, don't.
Boom stops to pick up a frog, which is adorable, admittedly. He does hold it
it's
really
this weird little frog.
Like he picks it up like a dainty lady picking up a teacup. Like he's got like pinkies out, and he's like, I will pluck up this frog by its toe. And he picks up the frog, but he looks so delighted to have it that you have to forgive him. Like, this is the happiest he's ever been.
He finds some caution tape, like police tape, and Sangwoo kicks him in the head because he's like, don't touch that. It's like, God damn it. And then he ties the caution tape around a tree after having a weird flashback to burying his dad or whatever.
He does throw Boom into that little creek.
Yeah.
And he's just shivering the rest of the time they're out.
So they get to take a bath together, and there's another ass shot.
Yeah, another classic. Well, the lady at the front desk is like, we have like a hot bath, like you guys should go because he's shivering. And Sangwoo's like, nah, he's fine. And the lady's like, no, he looks like he's gonna get sick. Like Sangwoo like argues with this hotel lady for a minute because she's like, he really doesn't look well. And Sangwoo's like, he's fine.
He's
I
fine.
won't be spending any money on him. Hilariously, Boom gets in the bath and he's like covering his dick. as if Sangwoo has never seen it.
And then they go back to the room and fall asleep, and then Sangwoo like wakes Boom up by undressing him. It's revealed that the dead body is next to him. In my note that was just don't was I thought that Sangwoo was gonna make him fuck the dead body.
Oh God!
Like,
There's a couple of
no.
There really are a couple of places in this where your mind is worse than this author's.
Wait, me specifically, or like
yeah,
everyone in general?
No, specifically you.
I told you, I've read some bad stuff.
Oh my God, dude, that's so funny. It's so good. He's pulling Boom's pants off or whatever, and Boom is like,
yeah.
He's like,
well, that's why I thought.
He's like, okay, just be gentle with me. And Sangwoo's like, you're a fucking moron.
Because then he says, if you make a mess, you need to make sure you clean it up. I was like, no.
Oh no, he meant the mess of murdering the girl. Come on, Cameron. Get your mind out of the gutter.
No, because he says take it slowly.
Boom says
and like
that.
Then he says if you make a mess, but like it doesn't. It's not Boom. It doesn't have the like.
It is
text
Boom.
bubble thing.
It is Boom.
It should be. It should have the little thing go into his mouth.
Let me see this fucking shit again. Let me look at this fucking shit. That is definitely Boom talking. Like, hang on. It is Boom. It does have a tail. It has a tail pointing to Boom.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
What are you looking at?
It's like right next to his ear. There's a tail pointing to Boom.
No.
He says, it still really hurts from before if you could do it a little slowly.
Not that. The next one, way down.
Oh,
like,
that's
when he turns and
making
looks.
fun of Boom for thinking they were about to have sex.
Yeah, that's why I thought, because he says, look over next to you, and then he looks and it's the dead body, and he says, take it slowly. If you make a mess, you need to make sure you clean it up nicely. I was like, he's gonna make him fuck the dead body.
Jesus Christ. Oh, fucking disaster.
That's why I thought was gonna happen.
Terrible.
But yeah, that's the end of chapter 21.
Yeah. And then we're back with fucking
the Popo. Mr. Policeman.
Mr. Policeman.
Is this the chapter where he takes off his shirt? It is.
Yeah.
I was like, why are we getting fan service for the police officer?
I hate this character. I can't stand him. I know there's a lot of Sungbae stands out there. I'm not among them. I think he's boring and stupid, and I hate him.
Why do people like him?
I have no idea. I don't like him. even like if you were like, I'm gonna look for a morally upstanding character to stand in Killing Stalking, which is a ridiculous thing to do anyway, because you're reading this. He's not.
Yeah.
He's a terrible cop.
He's bad.
He's a terrible person.
I don't have a whole lot of notes on this one. Not a whole lot happens because it's just like him doing police work. And
because
like,
it's Sunday. He's like washing a car. Like, it's like
he finds a hair. Like he's putting socks on his feet, and he finds like a black hair on his foot inside his shoe. I was like, how did that get there? How did the hair get inside of your shoe?
That's a really... Well, he probably took his shoes off when he went in the house.
I'd assume, but then he would have been fully barefoot, and I can't remember if his feet were out.
They were. I remember because he and Sangwoo were both barefoot, and I was like, they have bad feet.
I remembered Sangwoo was barefoot because he had fucked up feet.
he had
okay.
Fucked up feet. Yeah, no, he was.
So that plot hole is filled. I was very confused.
I
was
got
like, why is it on his foot? It was like wrapped around his foot. I was like, how did that get in there?
There's a great gag in this because I'm convinced this manga is a comedy. It's not a manga. This manhwa is a comedy. Where fucking Boom is all horrified that Sangwoo is gonna make him bury this body, and Sangwoo goes, "Why are you surprised?" Every time. He's like, "Are you serious? Is this weird to you still?"
There's like a shot of her boobs. Her boobs are so fake.
Oh yeah, no, they're
just so round. And I know she's dead and they're probably stiff and that's why they're pointing up, but like...
No, she got fake ass tits. So Sangwoo dresses up the corpse like Boom and walks it outside, and then he leaves Boom to rot here. He's like, this lady at the front desk knows who's checked in here, so I'll dress the corpse up as Boom so she and I'll get out just fine. And then he's like, Boom, wear these random clothes. And dress up like a lady suspiciously.
I'm realizing now, because I was like, Sangwoo is like dumb smart, like a smart idiot.
Yeah.
You know, like he seems smart, but it's also really stupid. And now it's extra stupid because I'm like, he could have just left it the bag when they went hiking the first time.
I always wondered that too. But he just likes to be dramatic, I think.
Yeah, he likes to put Boom through some shit. Like, he knows exactly what... That's why he's smart, because he knows how to mess with Boom, but everything else is stupid. He's real stupid.
I think Sangwoo as a character... I don't know, his plans are really interesting to me, because 90% of the time, it's not a good plan.
No.
But he executes it so confidently that it works anyway.
That's why he's just so smooth. He's a smooth motherfucker.
Yeah, he's smooth, not smart.
Well, his initial plans are kind of smart, like on the surface. They're like Pulp Fiction smart.
Yeah.
And then they're like hiking out to this place to dump the body, and he's like fondling him the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like grabbing his legs.
No, Boom's life is fucking hell, dude.
Yeah.
Another great Sangwoo gag here where Boom is panicking again, and he's like, is she really dead? Is she really dead? And Sangwoo's like, yeah, that's why she's so fucking heavy.
Yeah, that one was good. I laughed at that one.
Sangwoo gets away with being the worst character in the world by being hilarious. Like, I forgive him for everything, because he makes me laugh.
Yeah. He decides to eat an apple while Boom is like digging the hole. He's just sitting there munching. I'm like, well, where did you bring the apple?
I have no idea. I want too much. I want too much. He's making Boom dig this grave in like a mini skirt that he made out of a shirt. He's got no, like, he doesn't even have, like, boots or anything.
No.
There's this horrible, horrible moment where fucking Boom is like, is this deep enough to hide a body? And Sangwoo, who is also going to be in a lot of trouble if anyone finds this body, because he dumps all of his bodies here, so if they find one, they're gonna comb and find all of them, but...
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, I didn't kill her. What do you think? Like, he's like a parent who's trying not to give their kid homework answers.
And, like, Boom crawls out of the hole, and Sangwoo's like, hey, look, catch! And, like, throws the apple at him, and with such force that Boom falls back into the hole.
Poor bastard falls into the open grave.
Onto the dead body.
It's horrible. It's horrible. And he's, like, crying. Sangwoo's like, pranked.
Shoves him back onto the body.
And he makes him go back and lay on it for a while.
And then there's more police work.
More fucking Sungbae.
Okay,
can't stand this man.
Cleaning a car.
I could not hate him more. I hate the cops, dude. All cops really are bastards.
And next chapter.
Forget this prick.
Moving on to more police work. But this one I have a good chunk of notes on this one, but I think this is because, yeah, this is the chapter. It's all police work, but he does end up somewhere real fun at the end.
It's true.
Let's see. We'll just go through my notes and bang through this one because it's mostly boring.
I love that Sungbei's entire thing here. Like, okay, this man, he's a cop who has been demoted already for just randomly accusing people and beating them up. Which,
right.
Again, bad cop, bad person.
Would not have gotten him demoted in America, but that's okay.
No, but he literally looks at Sangwoo and he's like, there's something fucked up about that guy. And then he's like, with almost no evidence, he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
And he's right.
Yeah, there's a note in here somewhere where I was like, he has nothing to go on except for like the vibes were whack, and he's like serial killer. I'm like, 2 people are dead, and one of them isn't even like fully cold yet. Can you really call him a serial killer yet?
Like, are you totally sure? You think he may have killed a girl? You have no indication that he killed the other girl,
and you think he might have killed that dude.
And the only reason you think he might have killed that girl is because he gave you whack vibes and he talked to her at some point.
Yeah.
Like, it's bananas. It's crazy.
And he's correct.
He's correct, but in like a broken clock is right twice a day kind of correct. Like,
you used the wrong formula, but somehow you got the right answer.
Like, if you point at enough random people and say there's something fucked up about that guy, eventually one of them will be a serial killer. Like, you know?
Yeah. He keeps thinking about that black strand of hair, and there's 2 things about that bothered me. One was Sangwoo has black hair on his head. Like, I know it's a long strand of hair, but like his hair is originally black.
Yeah, he dyes his hair. So first of all, you don't know how recently he bleached his hair. So
yeah,
if he doesn't clean very often, that could be his hair. And it could be his hair anyway, because he didn't get every strand of hair on his head. It's an undercut. He has black hair.
He has black hair. Secondly, he keeps thinking of this hair to like connect the dots of like, I saw a black-haired guy who went into Sangwoo's house and Sangwoo has bleached blonde hair and the hair must belong to the guy in the house. It's like, yeah, he went into the house. You saw him. But that shouldn't be your first piece of incriminating evidence. It should be the fact that you saw a foot inside the house crawling along the ground.
I think probably the foot is more concerning than this piece of hair.
Yeah.
Also,
he's like, oh my god, the hair.
The other missing middle-aged gay man that Sangwoo killed also had long black hair.
Oh my god.
So why wouldn't you think it was that guy's hair? Wouldn't that put things together more cleanly?
That would make it a lot more clear. Like, that would be like, hey.
That would be my assumption.
Yeah, because Boom is not dead.
No, Boom is fine.
The other guy is dead.
I don't think he's even been reported missing by anybody.
No.
So,
I don't think so.
You have no indication that anything has happened to you and Boom.
Yeah.
Now, he is correct. He makes the correct jump that these people go missing in public areas with no sign of a struggle anywhere, so they're going home with somebody. Like, that's true. That's a good... That was some okay detective work.
Yeah.
And you're correct, but...
He has like a spat with one of his coworkers, and I was like, oh my god, he's becoming Sangwoo, because he pulls the like, I'll introduce you to a pretty girl line.
He stole it. There's a really fucked up part of this too. Okay, I'm really concerned with this man's police work, like in terms of ethics. It really bothers me. There's a fucked up bit in this where he goes and talks to the like divorced ex-wife of the missing man, and he tells this woman, I think he's dead. Again, with no evidence. Like you're telling her that her loved one has died, and you don't know that. Like, you made it up in your head. You don't even have, like, a reason to believe it.
You can't even do that on the news. Like, you know, on the news when they say, like a woman has died in this area kind of thing?
Yeah.
They have to say that even if they have the name, because you can't say it until the family knows and says you can say it on TV.
Yeah.
Because if they find out on TV, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, you should tell her, like, there is a possibility that he might have, died.
I would tell her, like, you know, I think he might be in danger. Is there anything you could tell me about him? Like, you know?
Do they know? Like, how do they, why? He's just missing, right?
He's just missing.
He's just missing. Yeah. I don't know. But at this point, he's playing 4D chess with Sangwoo a little bit.
A little bit.
Because
it's wild.
He's, like, inside his mind, like, pulling the pieces like together, being like, what's that show where it's like in the mind of a killer or whatever?
Yeah. He's really doing his best. Following Sangwoo's trail does lead him to, it looks like, probably Itaewon.
Yeah. Well, probably that's where all the gay people go.
Yeah.
That or Hongdae.
Yeah. And he gets hit on by like a 16-year-old boy.
but before that, when he's talking to the wife, or the ex-wife, when he's talking to the ex-wife is like starting to get emotional about her ex-husband, and she's like, he was a, and it like kind of trails off as like, he was a what? Your husband was a what? Say it. He was a he's a boy lover.
Boy liker.
But yeah, they go to Itaewon. They have a good time. The reason you can tell,
Plus you're a dude lover.
The reason you can tell it's the gay district is not because there's a sign with 2 male symbols on it,
there
or
are
a sign
several
with
signs with just the male symbol on it, which is not what this looks like. But
there's another sign with the male symbol and a question mark. Those aren't why you can tell it's like the gay area. It's because there's about 5 men with their shirts off walking around.
Just everywhere.
That's real. That's a thing.
No, I've been to this spot though. There are not nearly this many people. Not nearly. Also accurate is that there's one blonde girl in like fishnets. Is the only woman in the area.
But yeah, there's like guys everywhere. He has this like weird smirk. Like I can't tell if this dude's into it or not. Like he never goes one way or the other when he's getting hit on by this like young kid. The only concern is he's like, is he under 18?
He's like
that's his only concern. Yeah. He's not like, oh my god, I'm getting hit on by a dude. He's like, I'm getting hit on by a minor.
No, this doesn't seem to bother Sungbae all that much.
Yeah.
He seems to be pretty fine with he's a progressive guy, kind of. Not really. He's a cop that beats up civilians, but other than that, he's not bothered by gay people in principle.
Not the face of the like 18-year-old kid in particular, but like the outfit, I was immediately like, Jimin.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he wore something that looked exactly like this.
Yeah.
And the artist probably just like was like, that's a good look.
Also obsessed with the fact that this gay bar that he's in has 2 Tekken 3. I was like, yes, gay rights.
The gays love Tekken 3.
I do love Tekken 3. I was like, accurate. Representation matters.
So far we've got the shirtless men walking around and Tekken 3 as the like, accurate rep. So not Jimin tries to hit on him for a while, and he's pretty fucking stupid. Sungbae is.
Sungbae's like, are you sure I'm not a serial killer? And the kid's like, what?
And then he's like, have you seen this serial killer?
This guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's so finished with it immediately, like, huh?
Yeah.
As soon as somebody starts being weird, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna talk to someone else.
Either the kid or the bartender tells Sungbae that he smells like a normal. And I was like, are we in the Omegaverse? What is happening? Like,
he walked into this gay bar and everybody was pointing at him like, breeder.
Good lord. Let's see. Oh, I was like, why is he going along with this for so long? Like before he whips out his badge. I was like, what is this gonna do besides like getting your dick sucked? Because he's just like flirting. He's trying to flirt with the kid.
He just lives with it for a while. Oh, Sungbae, you bother me as a human. I just don't like this guy.
He talks to the kid about the like dead middle-aged man to try and figure out like where he frequented, and we get B-roll of like the pole dancers for some reason.
Yeah, we get a
like
lot
it just
of B-roll
cuts
of the
to
pole
like
dancers. I want to know which club they're in right now that has these pole dancers.
If it's a real club.
Yeah, I'd like to know because I would like to be there.
Well, if you ever find a club that has bar stools that have checkers on the seats, that seems like a pretty good indicator.
Yeah. If y'all end up in that
tops.
bar, let me know. Really bizarre. Okay, so the bartender can't remember what Sangwoo's face looked like. So he can't tell Sungbae that it was Sangwoo that was there.
Yeah.
Which means Sungbae comes out of this learning absolutely nothing.
Yeah, he learned absolutely nothing, but maybe has 2 dates.
Yeah.
One with a minor and one with this other bartender.
So, sorry, Sungbae. Not a super useful bit.
When the bartender hit on him, I was like, why is everyone hitting on like the straightest man alive?
I don't know.
Like, he just looks so straight.
I would not hit on this guy if I saw him at a bar.
No.
I'd be like, that looks like a loser.
At a gay bar, specifically.
I wouldn't hit on him in a regular bar either. I'd look at him and be like, oh, looks like a loser. I'll talk to someone else. Looks like a grumpy loser.
Yeah, at that point, I was like, I'm pretty sure the policeman is, like, obsessed with Sangwoo to a point of love. Like, it's becoming homoerotic.
Yeah.
Very slowly. Chapter 24.
Chapter 24 is when we go to the grocery store. I love this chapter.
We go to the grocery store.
I love the, like, slice of life shit in this. Those are all my favorite bits.
They're parked, and he freaks out Boom again by making him think the police want to talk to him. But
yeah, he decides to have a fake phone call with the police where he rats out Boom just to make Boom cry again, I guess.
And then a guy knocks on their window. He's like, hey, you parked too close to my car. I can't get in my car. And it's like, if you're standing in between the two cars, you can slide into your door.
Could totally get in your car. Sangwoo was right that you're just being a
prick.
Yeah,
he's just being a nudge. And then Boom has those like he thinks everyone's staring at him kind of moments.
Yeah.
And a little kid stares at him and it's supposed to be creepy, but I'm like, that's just what that's what kids are like. That's what they do. I've definitely seen that.
Boom tells Sangwoo that he no longer wants to eat meat, and Sangwoo's like, I want a cake. How do you feel about cake?
Like, fair. Fair enough, Sangwoo. There's also a little rainbow cake in the shelves when he goes to find the cake.
Iconic. Yeah, you're right. What is it? Pride cakes. Get them.
They are inverted, though, so it's a signal of distress.
I love the symbolism. Also, this bakery tray, like this bakery he's in, has just a bowl of open fruit.
It does. There's 2 bowls of fruit. There's one on the other side and some flowers.
Really, really strange.
So that must just be decorative.
All of this shit, in the bakery shelves, looks like 3D modeled.
I think it is.
It doesn't look good. It's probably the worst anything has looked in this comic.
But then he has to fight it out for this cake with one of his old elementary school classmates.
Yeah.
They have this weird stilted conversation of Boom doesn't say shit.
It's really weird and bad. His shitty classmate from when he was a little kid shows up and he's like, I want this cake for my anniversary. And Boom is internally like, I will die if I don't get this cake. He will kill me. And
you're like, you will die if you don't get this cake.
And you're like, yeah, you're correct. But he's too nervous to tell this asshole that he needs the cake, so he just takes it.
The asshole knows shit about Boom's past with his uncle for some reason, but
horrible.
I don't understand because the I don't know if it's just a translation thing, but it says that they only knew each other in elementary and middle school, and then when it shows the presumably the first horrible shit with his uncle, he's past high school.
It may be that they went to school together all through school, so he knows him from elementary school. I like the flashback to them meeting as little kids when this guy just walked up to little baby Boom and was like, are you disabled?
You're like, what? No.
You
can't just say that.
How did you become close enough friends with this person that you told him you were being abused?
Kids being kids.
But yeah, Sangwoo comes up while they're arguing, and he's like, oh, hi, I'm Boom's cousin and we're taking the cake. And the guy's no, Boom told me I could take the cake. And Sangwoo's like, I will fight you for it.
Yeah, this whole scene is 2 people lying back and forth to each other, and somehow Sangwoo isn't the worst one.
Yeah, no, I'm rooting for Sangwoo here. This guy makes me so fucking angry. And then even his girlfriend is like, let's just leave. You're being a dick. He got the cake first. Just let him take it.
Yeah, but then they do that punching game. They go to an arcade and they punch the thing real hard to see who's the more manly man.
Yeah.
And I thought Sangwoo was going to punch it off.
There's a really, weird dynamic in this scene where, he's this guy's clearly, trying to show off in front of his girlfriend. And, Sangwoo's, protective of Boom here in, a weird way. This guy, pulls out his car keys to show off his nice car. And Sangwoo's like, Boom, you forgot your car keys. And, hands him his nice car keys.
Super weird.
It's, really strange. And both Boom and the girlfriend are like, I don't know what's going on.
Sangwoo's the one in the end to, show off, because punches the thing real
because
hard.
he fucking destroys the thing. Boom falls
I thought he was gonna
over
break
on the
it.
punch thing, and like it doesn't even register with his full weight on it.
The other guy doesn't even punch it; he elbows it.
No, the other guy
I don't
sucks.
think that counts.
The other guy's a pussy.
So he punches the thing real hard. They get the cake. They go home. And Sangwoo's like, okay, cut the cake. And Boom's like, all right. And he tries to cut it, and the cake is frozen. And Sangwoo gets so pissed about it. He's so mad that he sticks his fist out and is like, go ahead, hit yourself. It's like, what?
And Boom does.
Boom just bumps his head on his
saddest
fist.
thing I've ever seen. He's like, okay.
Sangwoo's like, he doesn't say it, but you can see it in his eyes. He's like, pathetic.
He's so angry about it that he makes Boom like recount his trauma to him while they're waiting for the cake to thaw.
Yeah.
He's like, this is your punishment for picking up a frozen cake, even though it was the only cake in the store.
So Boom, chapter 25, Sangwoo's like, tell me about your trauma, and Boom's like, he would punish me. Oh, you'd punish me sometimes, but that's it. It's not really that bad. And Sangwoo's like, do I look stupid? And I was like, yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. You are eating that cake with your finger like Mr. Tim. That's a great reference. Everyone's gonna know what I'm talking about.
It's like no one's gonna understand.
Mr. Tim is my step grandpa, for the record.
He eats cake like that?
Yeah. It's the only way he eats cake. Every birthday cake I had my entire childhood, it would be like Mr. Tim would come up and just like it'd be like a finger line off the edge. Classic.
I don't have a whole lot of notes on this chapter because it's just like,
this chapter is not funny.
No, it's not funny. And it's not even the one that had the warning on it.
Fucking weird thing about this also, his grandma also lives with them.
Yeah.
And the uncle's always just like throwing the grandma around too. I'm like, that's an old woman. And your mom. Like, that's not allowed. You can't abuse your mom.
There's this weird visual thing with like dripping water that I haven't quite decided what that means, but it constantly emphasizes like the dripping noises of like water or whatever from like the dishes or
water torture.
It's like, what is this? But the uncle comes back drunk once, and the indication that he's drunk is not that he is stumbling around. It's because he comes in and says, ugh, I'm so drunk. You're like, okay.
I think this chapter is genuinely very creepy.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But again,
I've seen a lot to say about it, like storytelling wise.
Yeah.
But in terms of funniness, I don't have a whole lot.
There's no funny. There's a few. Let's see. It's revealed that the uncle is just like pulling a Snape, basically, because like his Boom's mom was originally the uncle's girlfriend, but then the uncle introduced the mom to what ended up being like it's his brother. So like she was stolen by his brother.
She left him for his brother and had Boom, and then apparently they died tragically.
Yeah, somehow. But it's kind of implied either the mom was kinky or was also abused by the uncle. Because he's like, it's in the next chapter, but he's like smacking Boom with a belt, and he's like mother like son. I was like, what which way is
like,
this
is
going?
he just saying that Boom's a fuck up, or
yeah, or that
or does it have something to do with this immediate situation? Because
there was a moment where Boom, I can't really say walked in because he intentionally opened the door at like the weird noise of his uncle jerking off, and then he runs back to his room, and the uncle follows him to his room and like peers through the door and sees Boom like pretending to sleep, and like he does the like laugh. It's like, what the fuck? And then Boom takes a shower the next day, but he only brings like a shirt and underwear to the shower.
I was like, if you've got a creepy uncle that's always being like weird and creepy to you, I probably like I'm not saying any of this is Boom's fault because clearly it's not, but I personally would have avoided just walking around in my tidy whities in this house. Personally, that wouldn't have been the move for me.
And somehow I think wearing the shirt makes it worse.
Yeah.
I can't tell you why.
The big shirt.
But like,
because he looks like a character in like a yaoi. Like, you
that's
can't wear
true.
The big shirt and the underwear. It's just weird. It's just a weird thing to do.
And then Who has the dream? Is it Boom?
It's Boom.
Boom has like a weird Freudian dream.
Boom has a weird dream where he's riding a broomstick.
And like...
It's clearly like a way for them to show you what's physically happening without having to draw it, you know? Like,
yeah, but that's also I don't think it would feel like that, like a broom that long.
No, it's probably a little different. The boom is very small.
But especially since we can't see it through the legs.
Yeah. No, it's not that long. Uncle Creepy's got a chode. I don't know.
But yeah, that's chapter 25, and then chapter 26 has like a warning of like...
Yeah, bananas that chapter 26 is the one with the warning, because chapter 25, that scene where the uncle like crawls into bed with him, that's the one that got me. That was the one where I was like, oof, that's really fucked up. That really creeped me out.
Yeah, I don't know. I've read some not true crime stuff, but like fucking Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yeah.
Where like people would write about that happening to them. So, and that was like in elementary school.
Yeah, wait, what the fuck is wrong with
someone
you?
gave me that book. Wait, no, someone gave me it. It's like, because it's supposed to have mostly stories of like, you read it and it's like, oh, it's like healing by empathy or whatever, you know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You learn about these like traumatic things or like just general thoughts people have that might have had like a tough time, and you're like, ooh, look at these people who had a tough time, but they're working through their trauma. But some of them would actually describe the stuff going on, and you were like a 10-year-old, like,
bruh.
Yeah, someone gave me the like super traumatic one, because there's different chicken soups.
Yeah,
that one was like,
yeah, I've read a chicken soup, but it was certainly not that chicken soup.
No, yeah, that one.
And I don't think I've read a full one ever.
Yeah, there's been a good chunk of things that I've read.
Yeah.
Amazingly, it's incredible, because usually people who have this mindset would have gone through trauma of the similar situation or whatever. Absolutely nothing for me. I just read a bunch of stuff.
Just read it. Here's the thing about this for me. I avoid true crime, generally speaking, because it annoys me. Yeah. I don't like it. I think.
I don't like any true crime.
Yeah. I don't think it's a genre.
It's all the other stuff.
I've told you this before, but I think it's just an exploitative genre, and I don't care for it.
Oh, it is 100%.
I love horror, and I've seen objectively worse stuff in horror, but this straddles that line for me, where it's like so mundane in its horror that it feels much more immediate to me than like...
True crime is worse than horror, in my opinion, because it is true.
Exactly.
And this is a true thing that happens.
Yeah, this happens to people, and it's gross. It's gross and horrible. Like, this to me is much worse than like the comical evil of Sangwoo. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, nobody behaves like that person. He's a cartoon character. This is the thing that happens.
It's still like, why is this the chapter with the warning on it?
I know, why did you draw the line here?
They didn't describe it properly. I think that's my problem with it. Like, it's just like, this episode contains content that readers may find disturbing. This includes graphic depictions of rape and sexual assault. And it's not like, it's like, oh, it's graphic depictions of it. It's like, we already got that. Maybe you should include that it's like specifically a family member and like what the situation is, you know, because different situations could trigger different people. Like,
because I think if you're somebody that's triggered by sexual assault in general, you probably have not gotten this far in Killing Stalking.
Yeah.
I don't know that anything here has been beyond just like dubious consent up until this point, but it's violent enough that I would not. I would consider it pretty triggering regardless.
The rest of it I would put in like the non-con dubious, not the non-con rape.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Even though it is kind of...
It's pretty rapey, but it's...
Yeah.
But it goes out of its way to be like, Boom is enjoying this to some degree.
Yeah.
For most of it.
Yeah, it tries to put that like... Don't worry, he is getting something from this, and you're like, I don't see it, but
okay.
But okay.
Like in the sex scene that starts off season 2, you know, where Song was like, I'll stop if you're really that miserable, and Boom's like, no.
Yeah,
like
it just has those weird moments of like, he's like, it hurts, please don't. Like, he kind of, does he say don't? I know he says it hurts a lot, and you're like, okay, at that point you should probably be like,
stop.
Yeah,
no, sometimes he does say stop, but if Sangwoo actually stops, he's like, no.
Yeah, and you're like, oh god, Boom.
Yeah, I don't know.
Please.
I don't know. And you know what that does, Boom? That makes it hard for him to know when to actually stop.
Yeah.
Not that I think he'd listen to you anyway, but you're not drawing very clear boundaries, my friend. That's the trauma, isn't it?
Yeah. This whole chapter is mostly just Boom avoiding his uncle. He goes to like a sauna, like a 24-hour sauna, avoids his uncle, comes back. Then the grandma like sets him up to be assaulted. Like the grandma's
I
like,
don't know why she does that. She's like, go sleep in your uncle's room.
yeah.
He starts cutting in this chapter too.
But yeah, it's like she's like, he comes back and she's like, here, eat some food. Don't worry, he's not here. He takes a shower and everything, and then he goes to lay down in bed, which is usually in the same room as his grandma, and she's like, grandma wants to sleep alone tonight. You sleep in your uncle's room. And it's like,
it's like, I wouldn't have done that. I know the grandma doesn't necessarily know that this is going on.
I think she knows.
Yeah, how could
I think
you
she
not?
knows.
How could you not
I think it was a threat. Like, you make him go sleep in my room because his room has a lock on it.
Oh, you're right. You think the uncle made her put her up to it?
I think so. If we go from the evidence of like he's also been tossing her around, like he's mean to her, you can assume that he made
He's
threats.
also not surprised that Boom is in there, so
yeah. So that's the biggest tell, where he's just like, all right, time to go. Like, he just gets in there and does exactly what he planned to do, and it's not great.
You know, it's all just very fucked up. You're like, man, yeah, you gotta get out of there. Like, I think this is the point where you're like, okay, I kind of get, like, that bit at the beginning where he's like, should I even leave Sangwoo's house?
Yeah.
But then you're like, is this better? Has the situation really improved even a little?
But then, like, Sangwoo has, like, a breakdown.
Finishes this story. He's like, you could probably eat the cake.
And so he jams his whole hand into the cake and is like,
just eats it like an
yummy.
It's like delicious.
He tries to shove it in Boom's face, and Boom's like, no, thank you.
He calls Boom a filthy rag.
Yeah. I was like, what does that mean?
He gets angry at Boom for not fighting back against the uncle.
Yeah.
Which, Sangwoo.
I was like, Sangwoo was like, did anyone try the chicken? I thought the chicken was lovely. Like, after this fucking story.
He's like, you didn't do anything about it? Like, gross. And of course, it makes Boom fucking cry.
Yeah. He cries. What made him be like, oh, I shouldn't be here anymore? I can't remember.
He's fighting with Sangwoo. He tries to grab him, and Sangwoo says, "Don't touch me."
Yeah.
And he has this like breakdown where he's like, I did everything right. I've done everything you asked. I've let you beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And you can keep beating the shit out of me if you just pay attention to me. And Sangwoo won't look at him, so
yeah,
he tries to kill himself. He just grabs a knife off the counter and goes at it.
He cuts one wrist. And at that point, because like Sangwoo was still like losing his marbles and Boom cut his wrist, I was like, they both need to be institutionalized like right now, immediately.
Okay. From the start, like first chapter, when Boom is crawling around in the basement being chased with the baseball bat, and he's like, this isn't the Sangwoo I know, because he made up a person in his head and fell in love with him. Like, I think from that moment, I was like, both of these people need to be in a mental hospital, and that feeling has only increased over time. Because Sangwoo, in 27, as that one starts up.
Yeah, I already went to 27 by accident, so might as well.
Sangwoo sees him collapse, like he loses a bunch of blood and falls over. And he's like, God, you're so fucking annoying. I'm trying to talk to you, or you're not paying attention to me. And he walks away, and then comes back in the room, and is like shocked.
Yeah.
Like there's like a switch there where he's like, wait, he's really hurt. And I think that that's one of the first points in here where you're like, oh, this person's like ill. Like he's like sick. There's something like wrong with him medically.
Me as a person who's like super against the like institutionalization kind of stuff, unless it's like you want it 100% to like be in that environment. At that point, I was like, no, they need to be like taken away for their own safety.
Yeah, I think at a point like this where it's the safety of yourself and others, then it's a, it's a different situation, and especially with Sangwoo as an alternative to putting him in prison.
Yeah, that was the point where I was like, they both were having simultaneous mental breakdowns with like two completely different trajectories.
Yeah,
I was like,
honestly,
oh my god.
like, wait a second. Sangwoo tries to put the blood back in his wrist.
Yeah. What are you doing?
He's like, get back in there.
He's like, oh no.
No.
He's like trying to scoop it.
He gets so annoyed. He gets so annoyed that Boom won't answer him when he's talking because he has collapsed. Then he goes to the basement to get a baseball bat to beat him up, and then he comes back up and he's like, oh, he's dying. Like, he's losing it, dude. He's losing it.
This is probably the first time we see, like, actual genuine care for him.
Yeah, this is the first point at which you're like, oh, Sangwoo, at the very least, has some investment in keeping Boom around.
Yeah.
It's still, I think, somewhat possessive here, but it's like, weirdly kind of sweet. He's like, it's all gonna be okay. We're gonna get you in bed. I'll wrap this up. It's gonna be fine. Like, he's talking to him the whole time.
Which is a real thing.
Yeah.
When someone's, like, in a perilous life or death situation, you talk out loud because you're like, you don't know what to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of thing.
There's this, like, actually really nice looking panel of him pulling the sheets up over them, and he's, like, leaving bloody fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
It, like, looks really nice.
Well, they go upstairs. They went upstairs.
Yeah, he goes
They're
up
in
into
upstairs.
his room. Because he almost carries Boom into the room where they usually sleep, and then he's like, no, and he carries him upstairs. Presumably because there's a mattress up there.
Mattress, and there's a first aid box up there. That's why they went up.
This room triggers something for him, and he hallucinates that his mom is running around the house.
Yeah.
Yelling
and is like
him.
trying to break down the door.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
She's yelling at him for making a mess of the house.
Hallucinations are here to drop some truth bombs on Sangwoo.
Honestly, no, he's freaking. So she tries to break into the room. She's pounding on the door, and he's losing it.
Yeah.
And then he hallucinates that Boom is his mom for a minute. And she tells him that he's becoming his father.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, it's true.
Yeah. So then he and Boom are both just sitting there dead.
There's also a panel where Sangwoo's like eating the cake, and there's like some cake on the side of his mouth.
Yeah, he goes downstairs and keeps eating the cake.
I was like, that would have been cute in like any other story.
Aw, he adorable. Boom comes downstairs and he's like, you want some cake? And Boom's like, no, I almost died.
So then they go take a bath together.
And then they go take a bath instead. This scene was really upsetting to me on multiple levels. Like, really, really funny. Again, as a comedy, this is a successful manhwa, but very upsetting. Sangwoo puts him in the bathtub, and then he's like, Boom's still pretty out of it, and he's like, he like completely 180s. You know, he's like, you didn't do anything wrong. I don't think you're gross at all. It's totally fine that you didn't do anything about it.
And then he tries to make out with him.
Yeah.
Boom does try to like shove him away, but I'm more confused as to why he started like nibbling at his neck bandages.
Like, that's gonna be fun for him.
It's like, that'll be sexy. I'll lick his bandages.
Disgusting.
Like, gross.
Sangwoo was kind of weird. His strats are a little off. You know?
A little weird. Also, no way they're both fitting in that tub.
No, Sangwoo's huge. Maybe it's a really big tub.
Oh, I want that tub.
Maybe the perspective's just off, and it's a really big tub.
I want the big tub. I want a big tub.
I want a big tub too. But he, this is where Sangwoo starts to break down a little bit too. Like, he tries to have sex with Boom as if like he's like that will make him feel better, and then Boom doesn't want to, and he just takes that like as a rejection of his entire person. He's like, but you always want to be around me. I said, I told you that I like you still.
And I was like, you're in a tub, you're gonna get water up your butt. Maybe don't do that.
No, gross. And then he totally extrapolates from there. He's like, you think I'm just like my father, and you don't care about me anymore.
Yeah. And like getting to the end of this chapter where he's like, I don't want to be like my father. I was like, why did this person write this story? Like, what am I supposed to be getting from this? What am I supposed to glean here? Yeah, I was like, what? Like, his stories are supposed to like either like make you think about like a big real world issue, or like make you feel better, or give you like some sort of insight into something. And I'm like, I'm getting some insight, but it's like not. It's not leading anywhere. Like, I'm just like, the dude's fucked up.
Here's what I will say. This is my real answer. My funny answer is that the the thing you're supposed to glean is dude's fucked up.
Yeah.
My real answer, as a lit major here.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
break out the hat.
Yeah. I would say that this has a similar conceit to like Hannibal or Devilman, where it's like, at what point do we determine, like in a story like this that's falling in love with a monster as an archetypal narrative, at what point do we determine, who is worthy of being loved by another person? How awful. Like, is the worst person in the world still worthy of being loved by another person?
Yeah, which makes sense, but in Hannibal and Devilman, the like person who is Bum basically has like some sort of moral standpoint that is better than the other, like the monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they have some sort of objective or goal that is good.
Yes. But in both of them are also corrupted by the monster character anyway.
They are corrupted, but the thing is, Boom goes into it already corrupted.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't start out as like a... I think this is intended to be like a more realistic take on that narrative, though. Like, I think they imagined Boom as like, what kind of person could love a monster in reality? And it would have to be someone like this.
But it's like, why? Like, the point of the other stories is like, this is like, watch this person be corrupted. It's a tragedy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This one is like, it's already super tragic. There's not a whole lot of places to go from
Could
there.
it get worse than this?
Like, you could see what the point is on like a surface level of like, this is the point, but like on a narrative storytelling level, you're like, we're just going down. We're just like plummeting into the darkness.
Yeah, I have an unfinished essay on this as a thematic piece that I may share with you someday. But yeah, I think there is some commentary here on that. But
I think this mostly just functions as therapy for the author.
Oh yeah, more than that, I think it's just the author sat down and was like, "Wouldn't it be fucked up if this happened?" And that's the moral. Would that be fucked up or what?
At this point, I was like, "There's no way this person didn't go through at least one of these things in here."
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of this, I think, is also just like too specific to not have some basis in reality.
Kugi, I don't know if you went through any of this stuff, but I'm sorry if you did.
I'm sorry.
That's what I'm gleaning from this.
Whatever feeling in your life you channeled into this piece of work that you've put out here in the world, and clearly put a lot of work and time and thought into.
Yeah. You have my sympathies.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you went through that. Like, holy
good
shit,
Lord.
Dude.
I'm hoping as of right now that you were the cop, but that's okay. I don't know how the cop ends. I don't think it's going to be good, but right now I'm hoping that your experience was from the perspective of the cop.
It was most similar to him, yeah.
We're on chapter 28 now, and
anyway, he gets annoyed at Boom and tries to drown him in the tub, and then he freaks out that he tried to do that, because he's like, no, I'm different from my dad, who apparently did this to his mom.
And then we get to go back to the police.
And then we're back to fucking Sunbae.
And he's cleaning another car.
I was like, wow, I'm a little bit compelled right now by whatever's happening in the development of this relationship. And then Kugi was like, nope.
We're back to cleaning squad cars.
Forget about that. Like, fucking, this is ass.
Oh god, they're just like working through. He like tries to get like his old friend from the other precinct in Seoul to like tell him some info on the CEO's daughter that died, and the guy is like, I can't tell you, you're not a detective anymore. And I was like, but he's still police and he is investigating a different missing girl.
Yeah.
You should probably collab a little bit.
And I think this is probably the most valid investigating that he does the whole time, where he's like, I'll look for similar, like, wound patterns. Yeah, like, that makes sense to me as a direction to go, unlike a lot of what he does.
Yeah, he's like, I'll look at the body that we have and see what's up with that body. And see if there's any similarities to anything I've seen. Like, but the guy's like, I can't tell you.
Yeah, he mentions briefly that the girl had her legs broken. Or no, Sungbae asks if the girl's legs were broken. And the guy's like, oh, how did you know that? And he's like, okay.
Sungbae's like,
I may
peeked
or may
through
not
a door.
have seen someone's foot through a mail slot. This is when I think he connects that Boom was the person with the broken legs.
Yeah, probably. He also he decides, he's like, okay, I've got to talk to Boom like about this. I was like, how in God's name are you going to talk to Boom without Sangwoo being there? Like they're attached at the hip at this point. Like
Anyway, he waxes his hair and takes his glasses off, and he's like, Sangwoo will never know who I am now.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how he could possibly think that this is a hostage that Sangwoo is going to leave alone long enough to have a productive conversation. Like,
Yeah.
Sangwoo's clearly going to be hovering over him the entire time if he's a hostage.
Yeah.
And if he's not a hostage, you don't need to talk to him. So
yeah. Boom is wearing some like sick ripped jeans.
Boom looks, you know what? Boom's kind of got a fit here in this
He
chapter.
does a little bit.
Also, tiniest coaster in the entire world. That Sangwoo
Oh,
gives
yeah.
him. Like, he's got like, a normal sized glass of lemonade and it doesn't fit on his coaster. It's horrible. Like, it's just like, this really is the trajectory of Boom's life, huh?
Yeah.
Can't get his lemonade on the fucking coaster.
Sungbei's just kind of like looking at Boom in this, what is it, like a bar restaurant thingy?
Yeah. Boom looks like me at my mom's job when I used to get out of school earlier than her. Like,
Yeah, he's in like a little side room.
I'd go sit at her teacher desk while she was working and eat donuts. Like,
yeah. But he's like, shit, I'm bleeding again. I have to go to the bathroom.
So ain't even give him like anything to do. Like, he's just supposed to sit at this empty table all day. Like, it's not like he has a phone
there's like
or
CDs
anything.
or something. There's something in front of him. There's like a rack of like CDs, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever, but I don't understand what this place is.
But there's nowhere to play them. It's not like he has like headphones or anything. He's just sitting there.
But it's only going to be 4 hours because he only works for 4 hours.
Oh,
a night,
good.
which is
Only
stupid.
4 hours of just sitting with my own thoughts, drinking a lemonade.
Maybe he needs that time to like collect his thoughts, you know?
Yeah,
just kind
maybe
of sit
so.
there, think about his next move. But yeah, he goes to the bathroom and Sungbei follows him to the bathroom and trips him.
Sungbei fucking sucks. I hate this dude. Okay, just POV. You suspect that this person is being held captive and abused, so you walk into the bathroom and knock them on the fucking ground. Like, he's a horrible cop. He's a horrible cop. Your goal in this interaction is to get him to trust you enough to tell you what's going on. So what you do is you trip him, and then you grab him and manhandle him into a bathroom stall.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you start pulling his clothes up.
you think this is an abuse victim. You threw him on a toilet and started messing with his clothes. Like, of course he's gonna freak and not tell you anything. What did you think was gonna happen?
God.
You're a terrible cop. Like, even if Boom weren't crazy, like, even if he weren't absolutely nuts, which he is, I wouldn't react well in this situation. I wouldn't tell him shit. Also, so Sangwoo walks into the bathroom, right? And Boom, who's being accosted by this random man who has done nothing to identify himself and just grabbed him.
No, did he whip out his badge?
I don't
or
think
no?
he did. He just started asking him questions.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He didn't whip out his badge. Yeah.
Like, what a fucking weirdo. So Boom naturally tries to call out to Sangwoo. So he covers his mouth and, like, grabs him, and Boom just collapses on the toilet like a hoe. Like,
yeah.
he's like, okay. If this is how it's going down. He's like, you know what? This isn't even, like, this is Tuesday for me.
He's like, you're not the worst. You're not the worst I've seen. Could be worse.
He's like, you know what? Fine. He's balancing his bony little ass on that fucking toilet seat, like, about to go in.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
And then there's like a tense moment, but then Sungbei just pretends to be drunk, leaves the bathroom.
He doesn't. Another drunk guy wanders out of the bathroom.
Oh,
and
it's
was
different
in there
drunk guy.
listening to them the whole time.
Sorry, yeah. And that drunk guy, they have to kick him out, and they're like, Sangwoo, get out here. You have to kick out the drunk guy. It's like, why does he have to do it? Like,
I don't know. Maybe they're just being mean to him. Sangwoo wanders into the bathroom to look for Boom, and he was like, "You were gone for a while. I was wondering where you went." And then he goes, "I was worried." With like the weirdest expression on his face.
And then starts one of the most confusing things ever, which is this like pole thingy.
Yeah, okay, so Sungbei gets out of here because he hides behind the stall door and Sangwoo doesn't find him and he has to go clean up vomit. So then he goes to the public park and he's like standing on a pole.
Which I understand functionally how this works now.
Yeah.
But not the string.
No, the string seems like a weird choice.
Why do you need it attached? It falls out later.
Yeah, so...
Whatever.
Fine, sure. Do what you're gonna do, I guess.
Yeah, so Sungbei is like, alright, time to break in, I guess.
Yeah, he has now decided. And now that he's already searched this house without a warrant, he's decided he's gonna break into the house without a warrant.
Yeah.
Or telling anybody that he's breaking in, frankly, which if I were going after a serial killer, I'd probably do, in case I, die.
He does have a moment of clarity where he says, the way I'm investigating is ridiculous, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, you're correct. Like, what have you done? What have you functionally done? You've searched a house, like, looking for evidence that you would not be able to use in court. You've harassed a person that you think is being abused. And you flirted with a minor. Like, that's all you've done.
Great job. Great detective
Fucking
work.
grade 8 police work, man.
So yeah, that's what he's reflecting on. He's like, I've done some shit stuff. Yeah. Then it cuts to Sangwoo waxing his floor.
Naturally.
I'm like, Sangwoo, where did you get that cleaner
Hang
machine?
on. I also want to talk about this bit in Sungbei's internal monologue when he's talking about what a bad job he's doing.
Yeah.
Where he's like, this clearly somebody broke his legs. Why would he lie about it and say you fell down the stairs? Because you fucking scared him.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do you think? Like, are you joking? Are you joking? Like,
that's
because you fucking attacked him. He doesn't know who the fuck you are.
That's like abuse indicator 101 too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you got a weird injury and they're like, oh, I fell down the stairs. And you're like,
yeah, that's like the classic. Like,
yeah.
Abuse victims don't generally just walk around like, oh yeah, someone's beating me up. Like,
yeah.
And of all the people in the world to tell, he's certainly not going to tell the guy that also beat him up.
But yeah, anyway, Song was cleaning his floor.
So yeah, Song was waxing the floor.
Waxing, cleaning,
in his Adidas
whatever
shorts.
It is, he's got a, in his short shorts.
And his sliders.
Oh yeah, I made a note. I was like, where is it? Sweet flops.
I love that he's wearing a mask for this, but he didn't put on pants or socks.
Yeah, he's wearing like short shorts and flip-flops. Like,
sweet flops.
Sweet flops.
Boom's just standing there looking guilty.
Yeah, well, he did bleed all over the floor.
Yeah.
And then the homoerotic hunt continues.
A really weird bit where Sangwoo's like snapping at him. He's like, don't fucking pull any bullshit like that ever again. Like, why aren't you answering me, you fucking deaf? And then he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, I really just want to hear you talk again. You're like, what? Oh my god, the switches are just getting faster.
Like, who am I talking to? I don't know.
Disorder speed run. Like, what's happening? So yeah, then we rejoin Sungbei because Sangwoo leaves the house to buy more bleach.
He's like, man, you got blood all over the fucking floor.
Yeah.
Gotta get more bleach. Idiot.
And Sungbei's like, now's my chance.
Yeah. Sungbei, that's why I wrote the note, why is this manhunt investigation homoerotic? And then I tagged it like an AO3 fic. M/M one-sided obsession detective AU. Also, add more tags if you would like.
For Christ's sake. There's so much I hate about that. I'm just gonna start roasting Sungbei for the rest of the fucking comic. I hate this guy. He climbs over the fence to get to Sangwoo's house wildly because he wasn't planning on doing this today. He knows when Sangwoo leaves to go to work.
Yeah.
But instead of going during that period of time when he knows how long Sangwoo will be gone, he waits until he just sees Sangwoo drive past him in an alleyway, and he's like, oh, he's gone, and goes to the house.
He doesn't even know that it's Sangwoo. He's like, I think that's Sangwoo, and then he sees the car is gone, he's like, it was Sangwoo, and I think he was alone.
Like, what? Huh? And then, like, you're like, well, Sangwoo very well could have noticed you, the cop that already searched his house, walking in the direction of his house when he drove past you. Like, probably it's not the most discreet time to break in.
Yeah.
But, okay, whatever. So he hops up on the pole and breaks into the house.
Oh, I'm realizing, even though he should have made a bigger deal about it when the pole slips out of the rope and goes under the bush, he was probably had it on the rope so he could bring it with him so there was no evidence in front of the house, but he doesn't make a big deal
but he drops
of like
it anyway.
Oh no, he does. He says it should be fine, right? It's hard to see. I didn't quite understand what that meant when I didn't understand what the string on the pole was for. Like, I now understand, kind of. Still
then
stupid though.
Then his grift. He breaks the window to break into the house, and then he just places a baseball next to the broken window.
I hope you have the same comment that I do.
My comment is where the fuck were these kids playing baseball to not get through Sangwoo's window? It's a fenced-in yard in a neighborhood with nobody, and the only thing in front of his house is a street full of cars. Where the fuck was this baseball game happening?
This one's gonna make you even madder. My comment was, you can't trick him that a baseball broke his window if the baseball is on the outside of the house.
Yeah. No. Also true.
He puts it on the balcony like like it just bopped off the window and shattered the window but stayed outside. It's like, no, put it inside.
No,
Put it inside the fucking house.
Everything about this is fucking ridiculous. He breaks the window and he goes in, and then he's like, if I go in right now, I'm trespassing without a doubt. Like, yeah, you already hopped his fence and broke his window. Like, this is already...
He's in the house.
It's already both breaking and entering. Like...
So he makes it in the house, and he's like, oh, there's this little scrawny guy. Hello.
Yeah, he finds Boom cowering in the closet. This is the point at which I probably most hate Sunbae. He opens up this closet and finds Boom hiding, and Boom is clearly, like, out of his mind. Like, he crouches down in front of Boom, and Boom is like, hi, are you Sangwoo's friend? He's, like, not intelligible at all. He's, like... barely talking. Nothing he says makes any sense. He looks busted. Like,
he's hiding in the closet, so either one, he wasn't expecting like Sangwoo's friend to be there, like, so he's hiding in the closet because he heard you break in, or two, he didn't hear you break in and was just hiding in the closet for no reason.
Yeah, either way, he's an insane person. Like, he is not like in his right state of mind right now to answer questions for you.
Yeah.
And then
you go for it, because I'm scrolling
I've got
pretty
so much
quickly.
energy on this. I fucking hate this. So he's like, okay. He's like, this guy's clearly sort of panicked. Like, the solution here is to grab his busted up wrists. Like, that's gonna calm him down. You know, like 101 when you're dealing with abuse victims is don't fucking touch them.
No.
Are you joking? And then when
he touches legs too. Yeah, he kind of grabs his legs.
He grabs him multiple times in multiple places, and of course Boom fucking panics, because why wouldn't you panic? Like, Sunbae thinks he has been trapped here for months, getting the shit beaten out of him, and then he's confused when Boom panics when he's touched. Like, he's like, let go of me, don't touch me. And Sunbae gets frustrated with him.
Yeah.
For yelling, so then he grabs him harder. Which only makes it worse. He grabs him so hard that it reopens the cut on his wrist.
Yeah.
Like, this fucking police brutality. This is ridiculous. You cannot treat people this way. As far as you're concerned, he hasn't even committed a crime. Like,
and this whole time, Sangwoo's coming through the front door.
You know why? Because you didn't know how long he was going to be fucking gone. When you started
It's murder time.
Oh god, I hate this man. Do you have any comments on that whole situation?
Nope, it's murder time.
Alright.
That's all I was excited about. I was like, yes.
But first, we
kill
have a very
him.
special episode.
Oh no, I'm skipping that.
No, we cannot skip this special episode.
No.
This is important to me.
Nothing happens.
A lot happens. We're in a maze being chased by a clown. What could possibly not be happening? We're in the maze being chased by a clown. We get harassed by some people in a movie theater. Boom is having a dream where he's in like a labyrinth, and it's full of just grotesque like impressions of things that have happened. And then he tries to run away from the evil clown by following Sangwoo's voice in the distance. But when he gets there and catches up to the voice, it's a trick, and it was just a recording. And then the scary clown catches him, and plot twist, it was the clown that was Sangwoo, and not the voice that was calling out to save him. Anyway, that's the special chapter.
Wow.
This is summer special. Oh yeah. It'll come back up, so I had to summarize it for you.
You can't make your specials important to the plot. That's not a thing you can do.
It's like every other special is important.
You can't do that. You can't, cause I skipped them most of the time.
You can't because
I did read this one. I have read or kind of read most of the specials in this one, but most of the time I just scroll through them really fast because they're usually just like extra sketches.
Yeah. No, this one they'll have some plot relevant ones. Anyway, episode 30.
Sangwoo's home in his booty shorts and they're shorter than ever.
They rode up on his trip out. He's back with his fucked up feet. And poor Boom tries to help this cop out, even though this cop has done nothing but harass him. He's like, nope, nobody's here. He's like, hi, Sangwoo, this house is empty. Like, he's terrible at helping, but he's trying.
And Sangwoo's like, you're lying.
Sangwoo immediately knows someone broke into the house, presumably because he saw the broken window with the baseball on the outside and the pole left in front of the house.
Yeah, he definitely saw the pole, even though it was under a bush.
He may, in fact, have seen Sunbae going to his house when he fucking drove past him.
And so he's like, oh, I'll just go put this in the basement then, since nobody is hiding in the basement. I'll just put this in the basement where it belongs, in the basement.
Since there's certainly nobody in the house. Since you're telling me there's no one in the house, I'll just go.
I'll bring this big floor cleaning machine to the basement. And Boom's like, no, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm like, you are a twig, sir.
Yeah, he's really struggling to carry this thing.
He can't do it.
He can't do it. And it doesn't do him any good anyway, because Sangwoo just follows him.
Yeah.
And he brings it downstairs, so there's really no point in him carrying it.
Yeah, and Sungbae is hiding behind the stairs that have gaps in it like an idiot.
Yeah, what? You couldn't have found a single better hiding place? Like, of course this was gonna happen. Sangwoo goes to climb the stairs and immediately sees him on the other side.
I'm pretty sure
these big gaps.
I'm pretty sure Sangwoo already knew he was behind the fucking stairs, because he looks at him like that's my favorite panel, the one where it's like tinted red and he's staring at him in between the stairs. I'm like, that's the Sangwoo I know.
Sangwoo's looking at him like, really? Really? Really?
And then he's like, he kind of like looks up to Boom, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry I treated you like an idiot. I was lying. You're not an idiot. And then he's like, but there are two of you here, and I have a knife, and I'm gonna stab him. He starts jabbing him between the steps. I love that. He's just like, I'm just gonna reach between the stairs and go.
And he's doing it like super fast.
Yeah.
Like he's like.
But the best part is he sticks it through the stairs first, and like there's like an implied pause because Sungbae has like a question mark. He's like, what? There's like a knife right in front of my face, and then it's like.
Oh my god. There's another thought bubble for fucking Sungbae where he's like, this is dangerous. I'm like, you don't fucking say. Like, okay, detective, thanks. Yeah, you went down here to confront a serial killer by yourself.
Oh my god, he's pulling like some fucking Naruto.
Boom is like, Sangwoo, please stop.
It's like Naruto hand jujitsu, whatever the fuck, with the knife.
Oh yeah, no, it's really good. And then he tries to arrest Sangwoo, which he can't do.
But Sangwoo asks, who are you? It's like, you've met him face to face.
You've met
like,
him
twice,
yeah. And he told you who he is. Sungbae threatens to shoot him, which is insane. Because most cops there don't carry guns, and Sangwoo is immediately like, you don't have a gun? Like, he's like not even a little bit worried. Like, he's like, there's no fucking shoot then.
Yeah.
If you've got a gun, I mean, for Christ's sake.
There's a shot where it's like, I think it's before he threatens to shoot him, where Sungbae is like crouched next to a chair. I thought he was just like sitting in the chair.
It does look like he's sitting in the chair.
Like, when did he sit down?
Just sat his ass down. Sangwoo at this point is like this cop has done such a comically bad job that the criminal he came here to arrest is like laughing at him. Like, he's like, you don't have a warrant, you have no reason to arrest me. Like, even if you do, nothing will fucking happen, and you're here alone, and no one knows you're here.
Yeah,
he's like, just
no one knows you're here, and you don't have a girlfriend,
and you're a virgin, dumbass. So he shoulder checks fucking Sangwoo and tries to run up the stairs. Probably
he throws a chair at him.
Yeah. It does not stop Sangwoo.
No, because Sangwoo's he's literally, quite literally insane, but also figuratively.
Yeah.
Because he punches a lock open from the inside of the locked door.
He's amazing. And then fucking Sungbae, because he's an asshole, just keeps throwing Boom in the way.
Yeah.
Like, you can't you can't just use him as bait. You fucking prick. You know, he could also die, and he's a civilian that didn't ask for this, as far as you know.
Oh my god. He tries to, like, barricade himself in the kitchen, kind of? Like,
what?
I don't understand.
Why did you go to the fucking door?
I don't know.
You could have gone either way, but you went further into the house.
Into the kitchen, where there's more knives, presumably.
Yeah. And again, Sangwoo was like, what the fuck? Sangwoo, yet again, hilarious, because he's a hilarious man, goes into the kitchen to chase after him, and he's like, boo! And Sungbae's like, like he stumbles a little bit. Which was hysterical.
He's also mad. He's mad because Sungbae went into the kitchen, and he's like, oh, you're gonna mess up my floor.
I just cleaned it. Anyway,
God.
That's where we left off, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's where I ended, because he throws his after the little boo incident, he's like, oh, I should play like a kid too, because you're playing like a kid. And he takes off his sweatshirt and throws it at him like pocket sand. And then he runs at him, and there's some blood on the floor.
I love this.
And both of them are staring at each other. Yeah. And that's where I stopped.
Just tremendous work by everyone involved.
So, cliffhanger.
So we'll do 31 through 40 next time, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. So what are your thoughts so far?
My thoughts?
Mm-hmm. I've read it all. I know what is happening.
That's true. Yeah. I kind of said my thoughts at the beginning, where it's like these chapters were they're standard. Like I kind of knew what was coming in these chapters a little bit, because like it's a well-written story, so if it didn't do these like plot beats at this point, I would have been upset with it.
Yeah, for sure.
But at least the like backstory stuff, I was like, you can't, like, we already know, like, you need to like get it in now before it becomes like
an annoyance.
Yeah.
Like in Captive Prince, where they decided to like just keep implying a backstory for like 3 entire books.
Oh my god.
And it was incredibly obvious, and then they revealed it like towards the end as if we were supposed to be surprised.
Yeah. Wait, are you talking about the like the knowledge that Laurent had?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. His knowledge. Yeah, no, because that one, what it had going for it was the snark.
Yeah.
So like you were in it because you were like, I'm pretty sure he's like, he's got the no, but it's extremely funny if he doesn't and he's saying this shit to him.
It's true.
But this one, it was more like don't milk a plot point like that, because I was like,
yeah, and they don't.
We know how it's gonna go. Like, just get it out of the way, and like,
I think
you need to have Sangwoo understand at this point.
Yeah, these chapters are, I think, a lot of like technical plot work.
Yeah.
So you don't get into like some more of the fun stuff until the next bit.
I do like the punch yourself on my fist moment. That was great.
There's some great song gags in this section.
Yeah.
Some of his
He's
most
extremely funny.
Moments.
And I'm ready to see the police officer die. I want him to go.
You're finished with
He needs to die.
Huh?
Yes. Someone got stabbed, but it could be a bait and switch. It could have been Sangwoo that accidentally got stabbed, but who knows?
We'll find out next week.
They might have just gotten a nosebleed. That could have happened too.
They were like, this is so smexy.
What is our discussion question? I'm probably gonna cut out a lot of the backstory chapters.
Yeah,
at least the repetitive stuff in it. So no discussion questions on that. You don't need to talk more about that.
No, nobody needs to talk about that on this video. If you have a comment about that, make your own video.
Yeah. What was your favorite Sangwoo gag moment?
I was about to say, what's the funniest thing Sangwoo's ever said? Because I think there's some really strong contenders in this bit.
Actual discussion question. Not that anybody's going to actually answer it. But when would you have drawn the line on Sungbei's police work? Where would you have said, okay, maybe stop?
Where would you have fired him?
Yeah, where would you have fired him?
You let me know.
Because his colleagues clearly just keep him around to like clean cars and shit.
Yes, I would have fired him probably from the first incident in his backstory.
Probably. What happened to his partner?
That's a good question. We haven't seen him, huh?
Yeah. But yeah. Maybe we'll find out next time.
Next time on Killing Stalking, book clubbed by Maddie and Katie.
Excuse me. I just burped real hard into the
microphone. Ooh, we're so classy.
Disgusting.
It's what Killing Stalking deserves, to be honest.